In the realm of nature, simplicity reigns supreme. However, when it comes to managing our health, humans have unnecessarily complicated matters beyond recognition. This complexity stems from our lack of understanding of how nature itself intends for us to heal. Our bodies, much like intricate puzzles, consist of interconnected parts. When something goes awry, certain signs emerge, indicating what needs attention. Regrettably, instead of interpreting these signs as hints guiding us toward natural remedies, we tend to exacerbate the complexity. Nature's approach to healing emphasizes unity, not fragmentation. In this series, I aim to demonstrate how health management can be simplified for those who grasp the indications, which I boldly refer to as nature's prescription. This prescription is readily available to all, provided we possess the necessary aptitude, training, and knowledge to interpret it. When deciphered, it offers a singular remedy capable of addressing multiple issues with a single medicine. On the contrary, the prevailing healthcare system often fails to recognize how nature intends to heal. It overlooks nature's prescription, treating each ailment in isolation and attempting to address them independently. This fragmented approach leads to increased complexity, necessitating multiple diagnoses and medications, which in turn impose significant financial burdens. Frequently, the outcome is merely temporary relief rather than a lasting cure. To illustrate, consider a case involving multiple diagnoses: NASH cirrhosis, decompensated liver function, lichen planus, nail deformities, and multiple warts. The latter two conditions were overlooked by the treating specialists, as these did not fall within the specialized fields for which they were trained. After all, these belong to the patient, not to their specialty. How reasonable is this? This situation escalated to the point where liver transplantation was recommended. However, a natural remedy prescribed by nature, dynamized salt, addressed all aspects of the individual's ailments. It facilitated the transition from decompensation to compensation, eliminated the need for a liver transplant, and even led to the healing of the previously ignored warts and nail deformities, as can be clearly seen in real-time images. This is the story of a 66-year-old male diagnosed with NASH cirrhosis, a consequence of a hepatitis B infection detected in 2015. He presented with jaundice and had been on continuous medication, Entavir 0.5 mg daily, advised for lifelong use. Entavir is an antiviral agent claimed to inhibit the replication of the hepatitis B virus and slow down the progression of liver damage. Additionally, he has been suffering from lichen planus for over 40 years. NASH cirrhosis is considered the end stage of non-alcoholic steatohepatitis, NASH. On May 2, 2023, the gastroenterologist's impression was NASH cirrhosis decompensated, with worsening liver function tests showing serum bilirubin levels of 7.2 mg, which increased to 8.7 by May 15, 2023. Liver enzymes ALT were at 110 U/L, AST at 158 U/L, and alkaline phosphatase at 207 U/L. Hence, surgical consultation was advised, along with consideration of a liver transplant, as indicated in the prescriptions. He consulted me on May 15, 2023, and on that day, he was administered his constitutional remedy, Natrum muriaticum, the dynamized salt, in a single dose. 10 days later, on April 25, his laboratory reports showed serum bilirubin levels at 4.3, ALT at 76, AST at 90, and alkaline phosphatase at 144 U/L. The miraculous effect of constitutional medicine, prescribed by nature, manifested within 10 days, compensating his liver, which the antiviral agent had failed to do despite religious adherence for 10 years, achieved with just 2 drops of the prescribed medicine. From that day onwards, his reports, conducted almost every 2 to 3 months until April 20, 2024, consistently showed compensated liver function. We have observed a tremendous improvement in his liver function, transitioning from a decompensated state requiring liver transplantation to a compensated state, which has been maintained for about 11 months. Let's examine the changes that the constitutional remedy has brought about in his skin conditions. Warts below the eyes have significantly reduced without any surgery, contrary to common belief. The nail has repaired itself impressively. Pigmentation on the backs of the fingers has almost cleared. There has been a significant change in skin lesions. His wife mentioned that his 40-year-old scratching habit has disappeared. Even the cracks in his feet have shown improvement. This case is a prime example of how a single medicine can cure multiple diseases, rather than using multiple medicines to treat a single problem. The life force, or prana, or chi, visibly deteriorates, as evidenced by the condition of the nails. Attributing nail deformities solely to a chronic disease offers only a partial diagnosis. A thorough understanding necessitates tracing the issue to its root cause, which is tied to the individual's constitution. Observing how nails regenerate after receiving the appropriate remedy not only confirms the etiology but also the cure. This gradual improvement, as depicted in the images alongside two patient stories, affirms the efficacy of the holistic approach. The concept of decompensated prana, particularly evident in the nails and unrecognized by any medical specialization, presents further challenges when the body perceives a transplanted organ as foreign and attempts to reject it. This reaction is countered with lifelong immunosuppressive medication. This treatment further compromises the life force, exacerbating the imbalance of prana. Despite significant expenditures, it remains uncertain how long the patient can lead a comfortable life under these conditions. A 58-year-old woman consulted me on January 27, 2023, complaining of palpitations. A specialist had prescribed Cardarone 100 mg, which only provided partial relief. However, several symptoms were overlooked in her case. 1. She experiences palpitations while lying down, especially on her back, and upon waking from sleep. 2. She notices swelling in her right ankle when her leg is dangling freely, not supported by her feet touching the ground. 3. She also gets pain and tingling in the upper part of her abdomen on the right side, which has extended to her back since November 2022. 4. There is brown pigmentation on both of her feet, which has shown miraculous improvement. This pigmentation, resembling the color of a sepia fish, led me to prescribe what I boldly call her nature's mother remedy. 5. She has difficulty falling asleep until 3 to 4 a.m. 6. She experiences tingling and numbness in her feet and toes. 7. She suffers from anxious dreams about snakes. For those familiar with nature-prescribed remedies, it was sepia that not only dramatically improved the brown skin pigmentation but also alleviated all other problems, including the elimination of anxious dreams and insomnia. I need not explain this to those who do not understand nature's prescriptions and who have multiple diagnoses. On April 13, 2021, a 23-year-old woman came to me after contracting COVID-19. She had been struggling with persistent brown pigmentation on her neck and face since 2014, which had resisted various treatments. Her symptoms during the COVID-19 illness included a terrifying sensation of constriction around her neck and a feeling of a lump in her throat. Both the constrictive sensation and the long-standing pigmentation prompted me to prescribe sepia, a dynamized remedy derived from the ink of the cuttlefish, known for its distinctive brown mottled color. This treatment proved effective, significantly alleviating her COVID-19 symptoms and almost completely resolving the pigmentation by February 10, 2022. The specific nature of this brown pigmentation serves as a signature, recognizable only to those well-versed in this area of science. On April 25, 2020, a 55-year-old male sought consultation for recurrent black pigmentation on his face, arms, and hands, exposed areas of his skin that had been affected for the past 5 years. He travels daily by motorcycle for work and is unable to avoid exposure to sunlight, which significantly worsens his condition during the summer months. He had developed ulcers on his face and permanent black nodular lesions on the backs of his hands, accompanied by intense itching, as shown in the photos. Over the last 5 years, he consulted numerous specialists for a diagnosis of polymorphic light eruption, PLE, and received various treatments, including hydroxychloroquine, antihistamines, topical steroids, and other creams, which only achieved no or partial improvement. Additionally, he experienced flatulence, especially after eating at night, and his eyes were extremely sensitive to heat and sunlight. He also had joint pain in his fingers. On April 25, 2020, I administered a single dose of his constitutional medicine, dynamized salt at 30 ch. By the follow-up visit on May 29, 2020, he reported considerable improvement. His skin ulcers had healed, the black nodules on his skin had improved, and the itching had ceased. This transformation occurred without the use of topical creams, antihistamines, or steroids, only 2 drops of this spiritual medicine, from which he had been suffering for the last 5 years. For those who appreciate the power of nature's prescription, it was a single medicine, Natrum muriaticum, that resolved his 4 main issues. For those less familiar with this approach, multiple diagnoses and treatments would typically emerge: 1. Polymorphic light eruption, skin tanning, or sun sensitivity. 2. Flatulence/acidity. 3. Arthritis. 4. Sun or heat sensitivity affecting the eyes. As of April 2024, he has not experienced any recurrence of these problems, even though he continues to be exposed to the sun during his travels. Occasionally, symptoms briefly resurface but disappear immediately without any medication when he is excessively exposed to sunlight. This type of sun-related skin tanning is a common occurrence in individuals with salt, pulsatilla, lachesis, and sulfur constitutions. On October 19, 2020, another woman with a similar issue of skin tanning upon exposure to sunlight sought my consultation. She presented with black pigmentation on her face, neck, back, and even on her feet, which were uncovered and exposed to sunlight for the last 10 months. She described the pigmented area as feeling horny and itchy, especially after sunlight exposure, with symptoms peaking in the summer. Additionally, she reported experiencing diarrhea during her menstrual periods and back pain before menstruation, which typically started 7 to 10 days late. She also complained of sharp, needle-like poking pain in her rectum, and heel pain in the morning that would diminish after walking a short distance. This heel pain, diagnosed as plantar bursitis, had not responded to medication. She was prescribed a single dose of her constitutional medicine, pulsatilla. Upon follow-up on December 29, there was significant improvement in her black pigmentation, clearly evident in the images. Not only did her pigmentation improve, but she also experienced relief from all her other symptoms. Her menstrual cycles became regular, the diarrhea during menstruation improved, the rectal pain ceased, and her heel pain disappeared. Therefore, for those who recognize the prescription of nature and significance of constitutional prescriptions, the single diagnosis and remedy was pulsatilla. For others, the diagnoses included: 1. Sunburn or polymorphic light eruption, PLE. 2. Plantar bursitis. 3. Irregular periods. 4. Diarrhea, cause undetermined. On July 1, 2019, a 48-year-old woman consulted me regarding a 6-year history of black discoloration on both legs. She also reported a range of symptoms including a left-sided headache, difficulty swallowing liquids, more pronounced than with solids, a sensation of a lump in her throat, a feeling of a ball-like obstruction in her rectum, sharp pain in her left breast, and constipation. On that day, she received her constitutional medicine, lachesis, which was administered in incremental high potencies, resulting in gradual to disappearance of the pigmentation. The source of this medicine, the lachesis snake, exhibits a color spectrum from yellow to orange, decorated with a pattern of inverted black triangles. This pattern strikingly mirrors the black lesions interspersed among normal skin pigmentation on the woman's legs, suggesting a visual imprint of the snake scale pattern on her skin, a concept recognized by those familiar with the doctrine of nature's signatures. Her symptoms predominantly affected the left side and included localized pains and constipation, along with dreams of snakes. These symptoms, though challenging to understand with conventional knowledge, resolved after she took her constitutional medicine. This collection of symptoms, coupled with dreams, is inexplicable unless understood through the principles of signature and prescription according to nature's guidelines. Additionally, her son, who also suffered from black pigmentation, responded well to another snake-derived remedy, Crotalus horridus. Remarkably, both mother and son experienced snake-related dreams and black pigmentation that ceased following treatment with their respective dynamized snake venoms. On June 20, 2023, an 80-year-old woman consulted me regarding her primary issue of early morning diarrhea, occurring around 4 to 5 a.m., which disrupted her sleep 2 to 3 times. She also experienced similar episodes after dinner. She reported that these symptoms began 2 years ago, following her husband's death. Additionally, she suffered from a burning sensation in her stomach that hampered her ability to eat. Despite being diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, her condition was not fully controlled by medication. Her son, residing in the USA, suggested consulting a specialist for further investigation before his departure. However, the patient expressed concerns about invasive procedures such as endoscopy and colonoscopy. This case highlights the pronounced fear of medical procedures in hospitals often observed in individuals with a phosphorus constitution, a concept familiar to those knowledgeable about such constitutional types. Her additional symptoms included brownish-black pigmentation on the legs near the ankles, blackish nails, which neither the patient nor the doctors had previously considered significant, vertigo when rising from bed, strong palpitations while sitting and standing, swelling, pain, and stiffness in the feet and calves, which made it difficult to bend her toes, painful corns on the balls of her feet, recurring dreams involving animals, the death of acquaintances, and deceased individuals. Connecting all these symptoms, like dots, led to the prescription of her constitutionally indicated remedy, phosphorus, on June 20, 2023. During a follow-up on August 11, 2023, she reported that the early morning loose motions were under control, thus alleviating her IBS, a diagnosis I consider incomplete. Her other symptoms, such as vertigo, palpitations, and stomach burning, showed significant improvement, although her corns required more time to heal. A further review on November 6, 2023, revealed a 60% reduction in the stiffness and pain in her calf muscles, and she was now able to bend her toes. Notably, there was a significant reduction in the pigmentation on her legs near the ankles, and the swelling in her feet had resolved. The black coloration of her nails had almost vanished, as evidenced in the accompanying photographs. Remarkably, she had discontinued her sleep-inducing medication, now sleeping from midnight until 7 a.m. This demonstrates the unparalleled efficacy of the nature-prescribed medicine, which addressed multiple specialty areas effectively. A mother scheduled an appointment for her son on October 11, 2022, due to his long-standing complaints of recurrent colds and coughs. Upon examination, I observed white spots on his nails, white circular patches on his cheeks, and horny lesions on the back of his elbows and the nape of his neck. I prescribed medication on that same day, and by the follow-up review on November 27, all skin lesions had disappeared without the use of ointments, utilizing only 2 drops of arsenicum album. However, his cough persisted, accompanied by notable symptoms such as nasal obstruction on the left side, and a nasal polyp left side for which an ENT surgeon recommended removal. Additional findings included a history of pica and head sweating during sleep. The cold and cough were eventually resolved using his constitutional medicine, Calcarea carbonica. The mother later expressed that her son was doing well and felt there was no need for further consultations. I am concluding this presentation with a noteworthy remark. It's not only about the visible signs on the skin but also deformities and discolorations on the nails that can serve as indicators of constitutions. These can often be dramatically reversed with spiritual medicines. As you can observe in these images, look at how not only nails but overall health has improved. For those unfamiliar with the concept of constitution and constitutional medicine, a significant oversight, as it is a self-healing method inspired by nature, I highly recommend watching my videos titled Nail Signs of Disease, Your Health Horoscope Part 1 and 2 and Unlock Dreams for Wellness Part 1 to 5. You can find these on my Try Incurable channel on YouTube. Links to these videos are available in the description box below. Continuing our engagement on the Try Incurable channel, our upcoming presentation, Can We Prevent Suicides? Why not, explores suicide prevention, starting with essential mental health support such as therapy, counseling, and sometimes medication. However, I argue that this is merely a foundational step. More fundamentally, we must identify and understand the root causes and recognize individuals or groups exhibiting suicidal tendencies. Without first identifying those at risk, how can we proceed with any subsequent steps? This crucial aspect of recognition is often neglected by conventional medical systems. Notably, individuals with the following constitutional types, gold, aurum metallicum, salt, natrum muriaticum, natrum sulfuricum, and staph aureus are highly predisposed to suicidal tendencies. It is also important to note that individuals with an arsenic album constitution are particularly prone to death by hanging.